If your engine makes this noise, then you have a big problem. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Before we get into things, make sure you hit that like button. It really does help me out and it shows your appreciation. Now then, right here in front of me I have a BMW inline 6 N52 engine in my BMW 130i. Now the engine noise that I'm talking about today is not specific to this engine, it's not specific to any engine. It can occur in pretty much any engine in any car. So what am I talking about today then? So the engine noise that I'm talking about today is a rattle, and it is a very distinctive rattle, and you will typically hear it when the engine is idling. Now let me get the microphone in close and see if you can hear that rattle that I'm talking about. Now this is of course not the general ticking from hydraulic lifters, it's not the ticking that you may get from direct injection fuel injectors. This is a much worse problem. Now of course it can sound like a rattle, but it can also sound like a slight knock or a flapping noise, and again it will always be at the back of the engine where the engine meets your transmission. Now in this car, this is a 6-speed manual transmission, and this problem you'll probably only notice it in a manual transmission car. Now if we head on inside, we may be able to hear the rattle a little bit clearer as well. So then of course inside of the car now, see if you can hear that rattle again. Yeah, I really don't know how well the microphone is picking this rattle up, but essentially it goes away when I depress the clutch pedal. Now, what does this mean? This means that we have some very expensive parts coming up. So I'm pretty sure, I'm 90% sure that this is a DMF rattle, or dual mass flywheel rattle. So if you don't know what a DMF is, or a dual mass flywheel, essentially the flywheel bolts to the engine on the end of the crankshaft. Now a traditional single mass flywheel is just a solid piece, but a dual mass flywheel is essentially two flywheels joined together with springs. Now those springs help to damper any vibrations and essentially leads to a much smoother experience, and pretty much all modern cars have dual mass flywheels. And there are some debates whether or not you should convert to a single mass flywheel. I would never do that personally. You're just going to make your your car an unpleasant experience. For sure, if it's like just solely a track car, then consider doing it. But it's a this is a daily driver, and I want to keep it as factory as possible. So yeah, I have no plans to convert this to a single mass flywheel. So I think we need to swap out the dual mass flywheel. Now, I must say that this is something that I planned on doing this year anyway. I'm pretty sure that this is still on the original clutch. The car has covered 140,000 miles. So how much life is left on that clutch, I really don't know, but I don't really want to find out. Now you could say, well, why don't you just wait till the clutch completely wears or it starts slipping and then swap it out? Yeah, that's what you'd probably do if you was just your average person. But I actually have pretty big plans for this car, so I plan on doing a full underside restoration, swapping out all of the suspension components, all of the bushes, all of the of course the prop shaft. We have the guibo, then we also have the center support bearing. I plan on swapping all that out and basically refreshing the whole underside of the car and tackling any rust that we may have as well. Now I thought, while I'm doing that, it's going to make things a lot easier with the transmission out, and of course while I'm removing the transmission I may as well do a clutch and flywheel job, and I'll probably do like the master cylinder the slave cylinder, and like the clutch forks and everything as well. So yeah, I'll probably like tackle a whole bunch of jobs at the same time. And so yeah, I'm really not too worried about, you know, this dual mass flywheel Rattle. It'll probably be fine to drive for months, maybe even years. You know, how long you have left on your flywheel after you develop this Rattle, there's no real way of knowing, but it can get worse, and it can, of course, eventually destroy your clutch. So it is, if you do have a Rattle on idle with, you know, when you are out of gear, you know, your clutch isn't depressed, then it's more than likely your dual mass flywheel on its way out. Like I said, you know, it's an expensive item for what it is. You're talking 3 or 4 times the price of a single mass flywheel equivalent. But you're just going to ensure that you have a much smoother experience. If you're talking a ballpark figure for one of these cars, is the BMW 130i, of course, I would say you're looking around the £500 mark just for the dual mass flywheel. The clutch kit, you can probably get that for about £150 to £200, but the dual mass flywheel, that is the most expensive item for sure. Of course, you have to renew all of the bolts as well. Now, say for example, if your clutch was worn, your clutch disc was worn, should you ever just swap out the clutch without doing the flywheel? Some people say you're fine to do so, but me personally, if I'm doing this job, if I'm swapping out the clutch on one of these, I'm going to do the flywheel at the same time. Yes, it's a lot of money for the parts. It's no extra labor though, and you don't want to swap out, you know, you don't want to put a new clutch onto a worn flywheel, because then if you have a flywheel issue, it's just going to destroy your clutch, and you're going to have to end up replacing the clutch again anyway. So yeah, if you have a car with a dual mass flywheel and you need to swap out the clutch, swap the whole lot at the same time. Don't do the job twice, and make sure, of course, you use good quality parts like LUK or Sachs or an OEM equivalent, maybe Valeo or something like that as well. But yeah, hopefully this video has been somewhat insightful. Hopefully you all have enjoyed it. It's not actually been long since I've noticed this Rattle, and yeah, I guess you could say this car may be coming off the road for some time in the foreseeable future, while I tackle all of the work. You know, the whole underside of the car is going to be stripped down. So yeah, that's going to be some good fun, and I'm sure a good winter project, along with all of the other things that I've got going on. But yeah, like I said, hopefully you all have enjoyed this video anyway. Please give it a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!